During this next activity, you're going to learn how to paint using Procreate. We're going to look at a bunch of different famous artists who've created portraits in the past, and we're going to learn about the techniques and the brush strokes and also the types of colors that those artists choose to use. We're simply going to look at the work, analyze the work, and recreate it. Once you've completed this first artwork, you will then be able to take your own photography and turn that into a digital artwork. So let's begin, and I'm going to show you the step-by-step process that I use to create a portrait based on a portrait by one of my favorite artists who is called Cézanne. Let's have a look. So the first thing we're going to do is log on to the hub, scroll down, click on experimenting with materials, and then just scroll down. And I've put a link where this video is on the hub. Just click on that link, and once you're in here, it's a page full of famous artists, famous portrait artists from history. I want you to choose one of those artists, but choose someone whose style you wish you could copy. And perhaps the image that you want to choose isn't on here. You could even say, for example, search Vincent van Gogh on Google and find one of the works. Once you've done that, you just need to save that into your gallery on your iPad, and then we take the next step. So once you've done that, open Procreate, and then you just need to click on the top right hand corner and choose a canvas. Now, I've chosen 6,000 pixels by 8,000. That's heaps, right? Sometimes people choose a bit less, but I feel like that gives me a good proportion. It's portrait orientation, and it just kind of doesn't pixelate too much. Once I've done that, I've clicked add just from clicking on the tools, and I add my photo that I just downloaded from the internet. Just got to resize that photo and make sure it fits the proportions of your canvas. If it doesn't fit the proportions of your canvas, probably just start a new canvas and make sure the proportions are right. From there, you're going to need to check that your brushes, see the brushes on the left side, check, just play around for a little bit, make sure you choose the right brush. I prefer the flat brush. And then have a look at kind of zooming in and selecting different colors. Now, to select a color, all you have to do is hold your finger on the screen and it actually selects that color for you. And you see that color changing in that little dot on the top right hand corner of your screen. You can also change the size of your brush. Once I've selected my color, I've actually just painted it onto my image. Now, I made a bit of a mistake because I suddenly realized I need layers. So you've got to add to a second layer. You can still select the color behind, and then I would paint that on, and just make sure it's in the layer that you're wanting to paint onto. Now, all we're going to do for this activity is literally select the same color that you see of different shapes on the image and try to recreate that image digitally. So just hold down with your finger and then paint with your finger. Notice I'm not using a stylus for this, but I'm actually just going section by section and painting it on. Now, this is a bit of a zoomed up version of what I did, and it actually took me probably about an hour and a half to complete this whole portrait, just slowly selecting every shape until I had this final outcome. And you can see it sort of developing on the screen. Notice I added a layer and I kind of gave it a reddish background, which is you start to see showing on the screen. And I just go shape by shape. I'm really trying to imitate the brush strokes that Cézanne used. And finally, this is the final outcome, a fully digital artwork that looks very much like a Cézanne gone digital. I found this really helpful because it helped me to really analyze the shapes and create something that I thought was pretty pleasing. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Now's your turn to go select an artist. So simply click on the link on the hub and find an artist who really inspires you. Make sure this artist is someone that you really hope that you could imitate and learn from. Because as you create your artwork and as you look at the style of this artist, you might be surprised what you slowly pick up. Now, of course, this activity is copying someone else. I mean, Picasso is someone who said, good artists copy, great artists steal. Sometimes it's really helpful to look at artists and their techniques. Once you've learnt this, you're actually going to use this skill to create your own portrait from digital photography. So I'm really excited to see what you guys produce. Can't wait.